Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing in the module 4 unit 3. I'll be discussing on the topics of bridges. Here in these topics we'll be discussing about the basic bridges and the Wheatstone bridge and different types of Wheatstone bridge and how we can use the circuit to measure different components. At first, the introduction of the bridges. Usually, bridges consist of a network of 4 impedance following forms a closed circuit there. Okay, we'll discuss about it when we have a circuit diagram. When this a source of current is applied to the two opposite junction, a current detector is connected between the two other junctions. So when we have a 4 junction, when we have 4 resistance, two junctions will be used as a source, another two junction can be used as a detector part there. Okay, we'll discuss it in detail when we have a circuit diagram. So usually the bridges are classified into two types, AC bridge and DC bridge. AC bridge or the AC bridge usually have a AC source of current is used and detector uses the balance detector like usually we have a headphones. Usually the bridges have R, L and C components, resistance, inductance and a capacitance components. DC bridge. DC current, source of current is used for a galvanometer is used as a detector. The R has purely resistance component. AC bridge can be used for measurement of resistance, inductance, capacitance, whereas DC bridge is usually only for resistance part. In a bridge, wherever the unknown component is compared with that of an accurately known component, the high sensitivity will be very high. So this is what the basic concept of bridges. What are these advantages of bridges? This usually the balance equation is independent of magnitude and input voltages or its source impedance. Whatever the voltages, source and impedance will be given, it is unaffected. The balance condition remains unchanged if the source and detectors are interchanged. So whatever the resistor, whatever the component we are using, the balance condition will be same there. We'll look one by one there. It is first the Wheatstone bridge. As I discussed earlier, here we have a 4 resistors R1, R2, R3 and R4. Here this and this part are connected to an EMF E, and this two part is usually having a G here, the galvanometer. So at first we will be discussing more about the DC bridge. Here we will be Wheatstone bridge. Usually we use it for DC source because here the source is a DC and whatever the detector is the galvanometer as I discussed earlier. So like that we'll be using here, and it is the one of the most accurate method and usually used for the lab usage. Here R1 and RV used are the ratio arms R1 and R2, R3 as the standard one, and R4 is the unknown resistance which has to be measured. So whenever the switch 1 is closed, the current flows here and they are divided into I1 and I2, and this here again it is the I3 and I4 because it is passing to the other two nodes C and D respectively. So what is this balance Wheatstone bridge? Balance means what? R1 and R2 and R3 and R4 are balanced, and here hence the junction between C and D there is no current flow, hence we called it as the current flow through the galvanometer Ig is equals to 0. When there is no current flow or a potential difference between the C and D are equal, the bridge is said to be balanced. How we can calculate? I1 into R1 is equals to I2 into R2. So this is equation 1. Then I1 is equals to I3 because the same current is flow, because this is a balanced here, so this is no current flow, so this is act as an open circuit. So similarly I1 is equals to I3. So I3 is what? I3 is equals to E, whatever the potential supply is given through this EMF E, divided by which are the resistance available here, R2 or sorry R3 and R1. This is equation 2. So another arm, when it is connected here, we can use it, the I2 is equals to I4, which is equal to the EMF E divided by R2 plus R4. This is same as what we said it as like KVL law. When see here, when I am considering only this arm E, switch on A, R1, R3. this is nothing but E is equals to I1 into R1 plus I3 into R3. So as we know, I1 and I3 are equal, so I am considering it as any one of the instances. So for that purpose I told, if I consider the I here, so what it will be, I is common, R1 plus R is equal to E. So that time what it will come, I, E is equals to I into the whole bracket of R1 plus R3. So that time I1 is equals to I3 is equals to E divided by R1 plus R3. So similarly it is implemented here. So similarly when it consider only this arm, so that time E is equals to I2 into R2, then I4 into R4. As we know I2 is equals to I4, we can consider as any one of the current. I'll consider it as a I2 here. So that time I2 into R2 plus R4 is equals to E. So that time I2 is equals to E divided by R2 plus R4. So here I2 is equals to I4, so I'll be considering the same equation here. So this is the form what we'll be using here. So what I'll do, I'll substitute this equation 2 and 3 in equation 1. So that time E is equals to E into R1 divided by R1 plus R2 is equals to E is equal E into R2 divided by R2 plus R4. So E and E get cancelled. R1 into R2 plus R4 and R2 is equals to R1 plus R2. So this is what the equation we have got. Simplify it here. So that time R1 and R2 plus R1 into R4, R2 into R1 is equals to R2 into R3. R2 into R1 and R2 will get cancelled. So R1 into R4 is equals to R2 by R3 is the balance equation what we will be getting when Ig is equals to 0, when there is no current flow through the galvanometer. So that time R4 is equals to R3 into R2 divided by R1. So R4 is the unknown resistance which has to be found. So this is we call it as the balance equation. Here in the practically Wheatstone bridge, at least one of the resistance is made adjustable to permit the balancing. So usually R4 usually we make it as a unknown resistance which will be keeping it as a adjusting one. When a bridge is balanced, unknown resistance may be found by setting of the adjustable resistor. For example, you can use as a pot, or usually you can use that as a DRB, adjustable resistance box. Then next concept is the sensitivity of the bridge, Wheatstone bridge. When a bridge is balanced, Ig is equals to 0. When there is an unbalanced, current flows. So current is the function of the sensitivity of galvanometer. So what it is detecting when the bridge is unbalanced, so current flows. So that factor we consider as the sensitivity of the galvanometer. Sensitivity is equals to deflection divided by unit current, or deflection is equals to sensitivity into unit current, where deflection is expressed in terms of linear or and angular units of measure. Sensitivity is measured in terms of millimeter per microamps, or degree per microamps, or radians in microamps. Okay, this is all about the balanced Wheatstone bridge. Now we'll look into unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. So what is this unbalanced? We'll look here. Here the same thing, but what we'll be doing, the amount of deflection will be there. So that is for particular degree of unbalance there. So here we will be applying the Thevenin's theorem, which we will be studying detail in the network theory. So I will just go through this some basic, and we'll discuss in the while solving the problem. First we have to remove the galvanometer from the bridge, make it as a open. So now as I used it here for the open loop, for the loop the KVL law has to be applied. For what about this in EA? At this point, what is the voltage? EA is equals to E into R3. It is which are across this EA is across EA and E. So what will happen? The R3 E into R3 divided by R1 plus R3. This is what the voltage at point A. Because here we have a voltage and the ground part is connected here. This is what the logic. Higher potential minus lower potential. For that purpose, EA is equals to E into R3 divided by R1 plus R3. Similarly, the EB here. So I have done a mistake here. So this should be EB. So EB is equals to E into R4. EB is equals to E into R4 divided by R2 plus R4. So what is the Thevenin's voltage? Is nothing but EAB, that is EA minus EBB. EA minus EB is equals to, substitute here, E into R3 divided by R1 plus R3 minus E into R4 divided by R2 plus R4. So ETH is equals to E common R3 divided by R1 plus R3 minus R4 divided by R2 plus R4. So we have to find the Thevenin's resistance. So what I have done here, I have considered one as a source impedance between the logic here. So what I have done, I have taken EA and EB as outside, and whatever the, instead of voltage source, I have connected an impedance, source impedance. Might be I consider as a 0 here. Okay, instead of the voltage here, then R1, R2, R3, R4 will be connected here. You just simplify there. When you take EA outside, that time R1 is connected to the voltage source there, and R2 also is connected to the voltage source. So here I have connected one source impedance. Here R3 is connected to the voltage source, one terminal, another is connected to the A. You can see through the, go through the circuit here, and R4 also like that way. So what is here? RTH, the Thevenin resistance is nothing but R1 plus R3. Okay, R1 plus, sorry, not R1 plus R3, it's R1 parallel to R3 because they are parallelly connected. Then here R2 parallel to R4. This both are, as impedance is 0, this the junction will be, or the node will be 0 here. So it will be a series one. So together it is a series. So here they are parallelly connected, here also they are parallelly connected, which both are seriously connected here. Okay, we'll discuss in the online class there. I'll go in detail about it here. Then RTH is equals to R1 parallel, what is the circuit there? R1 R3 divided by R1 plus R3 plus R2 R4 divided by R2 plus R4. This is what the Thevenin resistance to find, and we can discuss it in the, when solving the problem. You will have a very good idea about it. If a galvanometer is connected across those terminals A and B, RTH, ETH we have found in the first step, the RTH is there on the second step. IG is equals to ETH, that is this terminal, divided by RTH plus RG, if any resistance of the galvanometer is available. So we have to consider the case. If they have given, we consider, else we directly give it as ETH divided by RTH. Then we look at the bridges slightly unbalanced. If three resistors in bridge are equal to R, for example, here this is R, this is R, this is R, and the fourth resistance is having a differ by the value of what we have, R plus delta R. Delta R is what? 5% increase or less by 5% of the resistance value of here, what is available. So we have to develop an approximation expression, not an exact. Here we are going by the approximation technique. So what is here EA? So same procedure. EA is equals to R, E into R divided by R plus R. So again we simplify, ER divided by 2R. So it will be RR get cancelled, E is divided by 2. Then EB, what will happen? E into R plus delta R in bracket divided by R plus delta R. So it will become 2R plus delta R. So here I have taken in terms of A, because here resistance is more, so my voltages might be F. So you can take in EA minus EB or EB minus EA. So when there is a, my suggestion, when there is a slightly unbalanced, better we go for EB minus EA. E into R in plus delta R divided by 2R plus delta R minus 1 by 2. So E I taken common, so simplify here. So common you take, so that time it will come as E into delta R divided by 4R plus 2 delta R. So another we have to make an approximation that 4R plus 2 delta R is nothing but can be neglected here. Delta whatever is there, we can neglect it here because of the lowest values here. Okay, we will not we can consider as some minimal error here. So that time ETH is equals to E delta R divided by 4R. 2R delta R is neglected, so that time it will be E. So in terms in general we can write E into delta R by 4R. So in order to find the Thevenin's resistance, so that time, as we know, the Thevenin resistance is what? R. How? Because R into R delta R plus R into the R delta R divided by R plus delta R. RTH is equals to R by 2, simplify, and this is what? R into R plus delta R divided by 2R plus delta R. If delta R is very small compared to R, delta R can be neglected. So what is I am considering? I am considering neglecting delta R. So what it will be? R by 2 neglected 2R divided by 2R here. So R by 2 is equals to R. So Thevenin's resistance is what? RTH is equals to R. But what is here? The ETH is what? E into delta R by 4. Using this approximation, the Thevenin's equivalent circuit can be approximated, not exact value or accurate value, but it has around 98% accurate because of presence of 5% differential rate. So delta R can be less than or equal to 0.05 R. So this is what the bridge is slightly unbalanced condition. Okay. So we have looked into the balance, unbalanced, slightly unbalanced. So these three conditions will be looking after with the problems. So you'll have a very good clear in that. Then the application of Wheatstone bridge. It is basically a DC bridge as I discussed that earlier, and it can measure the resistance from a 1 ohms to few mega ohms, not very high mega ohms. It is used to measure DC resistance of various types of wire for the type of quality control of wire. Usually when we are using the wire control or when we are using it wires in the households, usually we have a high resistance because the higher resistance the most the current it can control. So it will have a very high rate, but we need to look into it. But usually we use the DC resistors there. But in a house and all, we usually use the AC. For that purpose, we need to look into some of the components where we use the DC voltages. For example, when you're using charging the mobile phones, when you're charging the laptop, there all this wire control has to be there, where the conversion factors goes up. Then it is used to measure the resistance of the motor winding and the relay coils, the motor windings in the fans and the pumps and all. Usually, whenever the problems in the telephones there, usually used by this technique only, Wheatstone bridge, the cable faults. If we are not getting the phone is dead, so that time they connect a meter where we are using the Wheatstone bridge technique only, and they find the whatever the fluctuation rate in the current there. Next, advantages of Wheatstone bridge. Usually here the results are not depending on the calibration and characteristic of the galvanometer, as it depends on the null deflection. And the source EMF and the inaccuracies are due to the not due to the source effects, but due to the balance of bridge. The bridges whatever we are considering. Hence, the corresponding errors can be completely avoided. Due to the null deflection method, the accuracy and sensitivity is the higher, and that deflection meter is more accurate, or we have a very good results about it. Some limitation about the Wheatstone bridge here. The effect of load resistance and the contact resistance is very much significant while measuring R. If you have some kind of a slight variation or the touch resistance are very different or the contact resistance are very different, so there might have a very good errors we say, not a accuracy. Okay, that's the point. And usually this bridge cannot be used for high resistance. That's one disadvantage here. Not normal resistance, but very high resistance part where we need to find. That time we cannot use this one. Heating effect is usually due to the large current, because the large current whatever is there, they might generate a very high heat there, and they cause the permanent change in the resistance. You know that resistance might is affected by the temperature. When you're using mobile phones is high and the laptops are using high, the heating effects start, that are due to the resistance effect. So the large current might affect this thing and the resistance value might change. Here the resistance should be very high precise, because up to tolerance up from 1% to 0.1%, not more than that. But for to have such kind of resistance, the manufacturing cost is very high. So you need to be thinking more on that. Okay. So these are the references for this video, or the HS Kelsey. The reference textbook were mentioned by the VTU. The other two are the additional references there. Thank you. Okay.